Book 47, Cloudy, Partly Bony. So I guess that's the forecast for this book. So the crew is still split up into different groups. They're walking around the castle. This crazy pig lady appears and she wants to marry the cat guy, which I don't think you've watched Fruits Basket, but there's a character in that one and she's a pig and she acts just like this. She's always on a rampage and yelling, and she wants to marry this guy. So I thought that was funny. And then Luffy finds a suit of armor, which he's very excited about. He goes, hey, it's every man's dream to wear a suit of armor. So he's running around. He's with Robin and Franky. Then they come to this place that they call a coliseum. And suddenly it's filled with zombies, but they are tougher because they all have suits of armor on. So just taking down one was hard, so it's gonna be impossible. So they meet this guy who says, a scar on the back is a swordsman's shame. And who have we heard say that before? So that's suspicious. And then there was another guy, I might have missed it already, but he said something that sounded like Sanji. I don't like this spider. So they keep getting blocked by different people. Suddenly, find out Robin can fly, but if you look closely, it's hands, which I don't want to think about too much. That's a cool ability. So they're all running around, and then Luffy gets captured, and his shadow is taken from him. So this is a cool concept. They take your shadow, so it's kind of like taking your soul, and then they can put your shadow into another person, well, a dead body, and then you become a zombie, but you still have the same personality, so that's why we've seen the zombies with characteristics of the crew. But then Skeleton comes back and Brook, and he tells them that the weakness of these zombies is salt because it makes the shadows come out, and then you can put him back with the rightful body. But before they can save Luffy, he gets put into this monster. It's even bigger than the giants. But since it's still Luffy, he's yelling about meat and he wants to eat. So they have to bring him lots of food. It's like No Face in Spirited Away. And he still wants to become the king of the pirates. So then Brook meets up with his shadow, and you learn his sad backstory. Franky tells this sad backstory to Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji, who are back on the ship, since the bodies still have to be alive for the shadows to work. The bad guys put them there. So Franky meets up and tells them why Franky is still living, why he keeps going. And it's because he made a promise to a friend that he would come back. And this was 50 years ago. And it involves a very familiar face. So it's that whale that they met up with when they were going to the Grand Line. And so now Luffy is even more convinced that Brook needs to join them and join their crew. He's very excited. And Zoro's on board to help make his dream happen. So they're heading back in and they're gonna get their shadows back.